Welcome to Have a Happy Arty Time. My name's Jeanette. This time I have a couple of little small birds. They're little wrens that I have in my garden, and I thought I'd draw them up and turn them into a little stamp. And I've also got some roses here in different sizes, and I'm going to have a little bit of fun stamping this up. Now I'm going to be using my Coles brand or any brand cheap baking paper, as well as some normal copy paper, and my line drawings are also available for the stamps, etc. Just email me. It's down in the description and I'll send them straight to you. Okay, let's begin. I'm just using a little bit of maroon paint here, and I'd like to get a couple of coloured birds. And just taking my little brayer, and it's our normal process. I'm going to just give this a good push down on here, see if we can't get him in, and see what we get. I'm thinking this will be fairly pale as my paint is very thin, but we'll see how we go here. Beautiful. Got our little bird there, a little bit more paint. And we'll do that again. Pop him down, get a nice coverage, make sure we've got the tail and things in, top of his little head there, and away we go. Stamp him down. Lovely, really loving that little stamp. So I'm going to do a couple of this one now in the red as well. Let's see. Oh, lovely. I'm loving these little stamps. So, and again, we should be able to get one more off here. And yes, another lovely little stamp. So I've got a little avocado bag here, and I just want to make a little bit of texture around this little fella, and I'm going to pick that up. Lovely, we have a nice little print we can work on for later. Okay, I'll put that aside. Now I'm going to use a little bit of black now. Well, actually I'll use a little bit of green first. I want some green ones and I want some black ones for this project. Okay, so with our green, same thing. See how we go. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, so we'll try him again before he dries out. Nice, we can add the eye, we can add a leg. I'm going to add a tiny spray of water on this just to get that paint wet again. Grab our other little one, get him down. Lovely, and we'll spray this again. Very nice, and we'll pop him down in here again. Get our little onion bag, get our little avocado bag, place that down. And I'm going to place this one on some baking paper. Lift him off. Lovely, and we have something that we can work on later on, if we choose to. I will do some of my flowers now. So I'll just put a little bit more green out. Lovely. Now I'm loving this, how the white shows through. So this was probably a little bit too much paint on there, but we'll go again. We'll see if we can get one before it dries. Now again, I'll be cutting these out and leaving the white around the edges. I love how the water, when it pulls away with the paint on the jelly plate, gives such an interesting effect. So I can't resist, I'm going to have to pick this one up. And these make great collage papers or all sorts of things, so just really cleaning the paint off here. But sometimes we get just awesome effects, and I just love this. Look how pretty that is. Okay, moving on. And again, I need some more green, so we'll pop some more green on. Get a few more of these going. Spray a little water. Very nice. Let's clean off the stamp now. See if we can't grab one more off here. Beautiful. Okay, so that's plenty of that colour. Oh, looking at this, I'm going to have to pull this up. I'm just getting it on this side. So I'll just take this up and see what we get, and just lovely. They're going to come in very handy in my collages, etc. Now we're going for a couple of black ones. Alrighty, put those aside to dry, and there'll be lots to cut out, which is what I'm wanting. So I'll just go ahead now and stamp up all the stamps that I need, and I hope you enjoy the process. Now to make some maroon flowers. Okay, so we've got all of our sheets all ready, and I will spend some time cutting some of these out and get them ready for our collaged images. It's going to be a lot of fun. But before I do that, I'm going to make some backgrounds now using the flower stamps and both jelly plates, and I'm going to be using some of my baking paper for the background as well, and of course some copy paper. And I also have the clean-up sheets off this little jelly plate, which turned out quite beautiful. So I'll be able to use some of these in the collage itself, and we will begin. Okay, so first of all, for our maroon backgrounds, I'm just going to take a little bit of paint. Now I want to add a tiny little bit of black just around the edges. So I'm going to grab this little brayer, and I'm just going to put a hint of these in the background. And I'm just going to go with that. Place my paper down and pull this up. And there we have the start of our backgrounds. So I'm going to just continue on, and I'll put this aside and I'll fast forward and we'll go from there. Just adding some grunge here, and I'll just smudge that out a little bit. Well, perhaps not that much. Okay, I'll fix it. I love how when you spray the water on you get some patterns as well, so I'm going to leave those in there, as well as just put on some flowers. See how we go. Lovely, very interesting backgrounds. I'll let that dry. This is just a toilet roll with some bubble wrap wrapped around it on a soft foam roller, and it makes an easy way to go around the edges, etc. Lovely, just a pale grungy background. A little bit of black for a background. See what we get. Very interesting. So this one's very dry, so I'm just going to leave a heavy book on it and see how we go with it, and I will be back. And the same for this one, I'm going to leave a heavy book on that, let it dry. This one was so wet, I'm going to leave it dry probably overnight, and we'll see what that one looks like. Okay, so I'm back with my first background that we made, and I've got some bits and pieces here that I've cut out, our flowers and our birds, and I'm thinking I'm going to be putting this colour combination onto this background. So I'm just going to get my glue, and I'm just going to put a very little bit of glue on to start with to see where I go with this. So I'm thinking I'm going to have this little one down here. I'm liking that. And I'm thinking I could probably sit this one in here and maybe even sit this one down here, maybe behind that one, I'm not sure yet. And I've got my beautiful little bird, and I'm going to just place that little bird there, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm loving what this looks like. Just nice and simple this collage is going to be. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here, get him in place. If I want to move it, it's easy because I've only put such a small amount of glue on. And I'm just going to place my bird's head down here. And I'm loving the simplicity of this. It's just beautiful. I love the flowers, the little wren, just gorgeous. There we go. And you know me, I don't like putting everything down. I like it to sit up off there a little ways. So just be able to bend these leaves up a little. Beautiful. Flower just down in part. And this little fella, just some on his stem. There we go, he's in front of those. Tiny little bit more there. And how's that? It's just gorgeous. I'm loving this. So we have our little black wren with a black rose and a couple of maroon roses on a beautiful background. Now there's many opportunities for making these up. So I'm going to continue on now, and I hope you enjoy them. Okay, so I have some more pieces here, and I'm thinking that I would like to get a design going with this little one. Something like this, where he's walking through a whole little field of flowers. And I have the background here now, which is a darker green background. And I'm just going to put the lid on this for a moment whilst we see where this will go. So I'm thinking I'll place a little bird in there. Now what I do sometimes is I put a little bit of a mark where I think I'd like it to go, just with some pencil, or I take a photo of it with my phone and I can look back at that. At the moment I'm filming, so the photo that I took is actually on my phone. So I'm just going to go around and place a little spot here for them. That's roughly where it goes. If I do it in pencil, I can rub it out. So I'm just going to place this little fella's tail down because that's where I'd like him to be. And I leave the rest, so that one works. And I'm thinking down in under here I was going to have one of these. So I'm working on the baking paper this time, and I have one that's cut out from the baking paper as well. And I think I'll bring that little one forward. So something like that. Now I know I have a green one somewhere here, and I have a red one that I was putting in. And of course, when you're doing this, you'll find your own inspiration and your own design. So I'd love to see how you go with these. If you do make some, please feel free to send me some via my email, and I'll see how you've created them and put them together. It'd be wonderful. So I'm just going to do the same here. And just looking really beautiful. Reminds me of tiptoeing through the tulips, and our little wren's just having a lot of fun there. Out in the garden, nice and safe. Wonderful. Another beautiful print. Okay, so I'm back with this one. Another beautiful background that we made. And I'm going to grab some of these and see what we get here. I think that's lovely. Okay. And I just love it. Another beautiful one. And what I might do, I can just see there is this black blob here. So I'm just going to make some white lines across that so it's not so noticeable. The rest I'm happy with. Just loving this little one. So I've placed these ones down where I would like them to go, roughly. Nice and simple. And I think I've got one more on the green. There we go. Oh, I'm just loving them. Okay, so I have this roll-off sheet here that I'm wanting to use as a mixed media page. And I'm thinking of adding some bits and pieces to it. So I know that I've got this little one I'd like to go somewhere here, and this little one just in that as a little frame. And I've just ripped off a bit of black that I had laying around. I'm going to attach it down here, and these were some flowers that I made on some baking paper, and I've glued it to this little strip here, and I'm going to pop that in here. I've got another bit of red. I'm going to pop it up the top here that I've torn off, and I have our beautiful little fella here that I'm going to work out where I'm going to place him. And I've got a couple of red and black ones here, and I'm thinking he could look quite nice. There we go. So that's something different. A great mixed media page. So I'm just going to stick a couple of bits down so I don't lose this one. So have a look through all your jelly plate printed backgrounds and things in your art stash, and just see what you might be able to make with these little wrens and these roses. Just loving it. Okay, so we've got that going across there. We've got our flowers meeting up just, and our little bird. And I'll stick him down further after, and I'll just do their eyes just to get this little eye going. Beautiful little eye. I've got a little eye here. So I'm going to use some PVA glue on this to put those thicker pieces down that I tore off another sheet, and put a heavy book on that one. Sun's coming in on a very strange angle, and I think it looks lovely. So I'm going to put that aside to dry, and then I will show you all the finished products. So remember, give yourself plenty of opportunities. Make heaps of different backgrounds, different colours, all sorts of different ideas will come in. This has just been a wonderful time and make something beautiful. So I just love these, I adore them, and it's been great to have you with me through this process. I look forward to putting up my next video. Not sure which one it'll be yet, but I do hope that you'll join me in that as well. So thank you so much for watching. Have a happy, happy arty time. Stay safe. Bye for now.